Turn it up, Cal. Turn it up. Turn it up.
Extra funky. Man, we've waited a long time for this. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Winners Lounge.
Let's go!
A very vibey Winners Lounge.
Let's
go. Guys, the bar was
Vibes,
popping.
vibes.
The birds were chirping. You know, lots of great things were happening today. The sun was shining.
It was a gorgeous day.
The breeze was
Beautiful
breezing.
night.
It was incredible. And the Nuggets pick up a win in
Yes.
Golden State against the fully healthy Warriors team. To help celebrate that with me, I brought along the fellas tonight. Cracking a Vanilla Porter Jr. It's none other than Brendan Vogt.
Can't play defense, I was told. Yeah, Mike!
Well,
Yeah, Mike! No! Who blocked Steph?
Hey.
Who blocked Steph?
You know what? Talk
Yes,
your shit.
Mike.
Talk your shit.
Yes,
There you
Mike.
go.
He can't defend, but he blocked Steph.
Both things might be true. Over here, we got the man with the wind in his hair, Harrison Wind.
Starting a petition to rename Denver for the next hour and 9 minutes, Browntown.
Browntown.
I don't know what spelling it's going to be, but it's going to be called Browntown.
Might have to be both. And then over here, of course, Superstar Dev. How'd you do on your bets tonight?
Pretty good.
All right. Pretty good.
You didn't ask me how I did on my
How'd you
bet.
do on your bet tonight?
It cashed.
Let's go.
1 for 1. 1 for 1.
What a great night. They said that the Warriors have all the vibes. Doesn't seem like
Man,
it.
stole those
Doesn't
vibes.
seem like it.
Hey, listen.
Denver has the vibes.
I will say this, though. I thought Jermichael Green looked pretty free out there.
Wow, are we getting spicy votes
I
tonight?
like Jermichael Green, too. Did nothing wrong. Signed with a contender.
Also, you don't really think Michael Porter was great on defense other than that one time.
No, when I said he can't defend the last time, I meant it. Yeah. But he did block Steph.
Hey, man, an elite defensive possession from Michael Porter. We're going to get into all of that. But first, we're presented as always by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Use promo code DNVR whenever you sign up. Nuggets missing Jamal Murray walk into Chase Center, a place that's been a house of horrors.
No problem.
And I'm telling you, this was an impressive-ass win from the Denver Nuggets because it took a little bit of everything. It took a little defense. It took a little shot making. It took a little, that you're up big and you have to, there was so many moments of pressure through this game because even when Denver went up big, you knew it was going to get tight.
Yeah.
You knew it was.
They weathered a storm.
They weathered multiple storms tonight, and it was very impressive. And more importantly, they just look like, you look at what they looked like on Wednesday, and you wonder, what was that? Throw that one away, because they look completely different
Right.
tonight. Should
Yeah.
we get into some quick notes here?
Please.
You guys want to get a
do
quick
it.
rundown? Guys, right off the gate, there's a lot, actually. Some nights we have the quick rundown, not that many big notes. This game had, so many stories. We're going to relive them all. Right out the gate, Michael Porter Jr., 2 threes.
Classic.
2 3-pointers. Both of them Mikes. One of them a literal Mike, dribbling up the court, wave everybody off, just go for it. It was awesome. KCP had 9 points in the first 4 minutes of this game. He was on fire. Very, very strong performance from him. And then Michael Porter was blowing a few defensive assignments early. I think it was just regular rotation from Malone, but it might have been Malone punishing Michael Porter. I don't know, because it was a little bit of both. But he brings in who? Christian Braun. First sub in for Michael Porter. Let me tell you guys something. We're going to have to talk about this because you go with all defense around Jokic. Bruce Brown, Christian Braun, KCP, Aaron Gordon, Jokic, and guess what? It kicked ass. It was
did,
incredible.
man.
2 fouls on Draymond early. That became a storyline later on. An unsuccessful challenge on a Bruce Brown foul on Steph Curry that
Interesting challenge.
I wasn't surprised that it didn't get overturned, but at the same time it was one of those plays that just shows you how dumb the rule book is. Maybe we can get into later. Bones started cooking in the end of the first quarter.
Yep.
He had a couple ISOs that were just Bones, when you can create enough space, there's not that many guys. They put their best defender on him, and he just cooks guys sometimes for layups.
Yeah.
Jeff Green hit 2 threes off of Bones' assists that were very encouraging. Jeff Green doesn't always get hot from 3. He was tonight. And then the Nuggets in the first quarter, 5 of 5 from mid-range, 5 of 7 from the three-point line, and most important of all, 11 assists in the first quarter alone.
Man, it's going to be a long rundown.
40-34 Nuggets. Bones, no, because there's not so many in the middle here. Bones knocking down threes and running the second unit extremely well in that second quarter. Ball was popping. Christian Braun's defense, I thought, was absolutely impressive and disciplined. More than anything, disciplined from a rookie. And the Nuggets go up 70-52 at the half. Whew. They're up 18 points on the Warriors in Golden State.
They pulled a Jazz.
But you knew the run was coming, and the run came in the third and fourth quarter. Draymond going at Aaron Gordon and winning the battle. We talked about this a lot. Last year in the playoffs, Draymond Green let Aaron Gordon have it. And when you're down a lot, you kind of need the other team to mess up. I thought Draymond Green suckered AG into some First of all, they didn't guard AG, and he needs to make his shots, and he did not make them tonight. Then AG started pressing, trying to go fast, trying to play this or that. Draymond Green, I think there's a lesson for AG in that he was falling for the trap. Warriors cut it to single digits, and Malone, who made crazy moves all night, I say crazy as in out of the ordinary, he went
Very
with
Mike Malone-esque moves.
very Mike Malone, but it worked out. I mean, you have to give him credit. You have to tip your hat.
Yes.
He went with Jokic, Brown, and the bench, and it was the right move. Nuggets go 98 to 88 to finish the quarter. They weathered a little storm that you thought the Warriors were going to come back in the third quarter alone.
Oh, yeah.
And Denver, it kind of got down to, I don't know if it was 7 or what, but Denver pushed it to 10, and it was like, okay, it's a little more padding because you know the Warriors aren't done. Fourth quarter, Michael Porter misses a corner three. Play or two later, hits a corner three. It's huge. Porter also gave up 2 and 1s in that point. This is why it's huge. You got to hit your shots, Michael Porter, because you know he's going to give up some crazy plays. And he had, to me, Michael Porter had some plays that were spectacular tonight, and he had some plays that were absolutely frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
The non-box out on Andrew Wiggins, who just walked around him,
yeah.
and then the lazy foul at the end to make it the easiest and one of Andrew Wiggins' life. Those are plays to me that are absolutely killer. 103-95 with 10 minutes to go, and I put it on in my notes. How long does Jokic sit? 0. Malone put him in right then with 10 minutes. He did not waste any time. He was like, we're not doing this. We need to get a win.
I'm not going to let those guys on the DNVR show clown me tonight.
Exactly. So Jokic ends up picking up an enormous amount of minutes tonight. What did he? Actually only played 34. Malone, do this more often. It's only 34 minutes. Come on. And then the play of the game, it's back and forth. Warriors are doing some stuff. You know they're going to do it. But the play of the game was Michael Porter getting switched out onto Steph Curry on the perimeter on a play that, to me, felt like, in the moment, if you get a stop here, you're going to win. If you don't, you're going to lose. And Michael Porter not only gets a stop, he blocks Steph Curry.
Yeah,
he
Mike.
had some bad defense tonight, but he came up huge in the most important moment. You got to tip your hat to it. Nuggets up 11. The game's over, guys.
Game's over,
Game's
right?
over.
Go
We're
home.
celebrating.
Bar's
Head
going
home.
crazy.
Somehow the
Drinks
Nuggets
are
blew
flowing.
an 11-point lead in 12 seconds.
Yeah.
In 12 seconds.
happened.
Literally 12 seconds. They go up 3, and they eke out a win. We don't have to go through every single play. They eke out a win, and it was pretty amazing. All right,
Man.
Dev. Or actually, I'll start with you, Win. That was a long recap, but there was a lot of good chapters.
There was a lot in this game for sure.
Tell me, what's your big takeaway?
My biggest takeaway is that the Nuggets tonight played with a different level of energy than they did in the opener. They must have gotten the memo that the season started because how they came out in the first quarter tonight, they looked like a completely different team from the team that showed up in Utah 2 nights ago. So the energy was great to start off. And then Christian Braun entered the game. And this really is my biggest takeaway. I got to tip my hat to Michael Malone. He could have gone with Ish Smith tonight. He could have shortened the rotation to only 9 guys and stayed with his vets. He throws Christian Braun out there as his first sub, and Christian Braun's defense was phenomenal tonight. And it was great the second he checked into the game, and it was great in the second half too. He missed a couple layups along the way. He's still got some things to iron out, but I felt like the Nuggets' defensive energy changed when Christian Braun stepped on the floor for his first rotation minutes of his NBA career. So I give props to Michael Malone for making that move, and I give props to Christian Braun for playing what I thought was elite defense on the Warriors guards tonight.
It is rare that you see a rookie play elite defense, and it's even more rare
Especially
that you see a rookie play elite defense against Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole, and the rest of the characters. And tonight, what was so impressive about it to me was, one, he did this all in Summer League. He did it in preseason. The one thing he did was guard well, just shadow, like move, navigate screens, all of those things he does at a high level. But what was so impressive tonight was his game plan discipline. The way you guard Steph Curry and Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson is so different from how you guard Kuminga and other players that they played. Christian Braun somehow tonight perfectly navigated between, because you switch, you have all these things. You have to run out and close out on a guy. Every single time tonight, he's like, oh, it's Kuminga, stay down. Don't fall for the shot fake. It's Steph Curry, I got to jump, but I got a high top or whatever. He did everything so well tonight. This was an A-plus game. I don't care about the missed layups. He's got to clean those up. Yeah. But the defense was so good tonight that you're like, that is a guy that can contribute in an NBA regular season. Dev, what's your big takeaway?
My biggest takeaway, the word of the day is changes. There was a lot of changes that had to happen in this game. Jamal Murray was not there, and it actually happened. Also,
Sesame Street,
whatever. Jamal Murray wasn't there, and they had to make the change. They put Bruce Brown there, and it worked out for them. Also, they made the change from having Monte Morris and Will Barton. The new guy stepped up big time. Bruce Brown goes and gets 20 points, very good defensive stops, and he just was a change of pace that they just haven't had. Stepped up in the big game. on both sides of the floor, and just showed that he has big balls. He just has big balls.
Facts.
Also, KCP stepped up in a huge way and just
he was
showed
incredible.
it was completely different than what they had before. In the first game, he did not even look at the rim, it looked like. In this game, he showed that he could do it on both ends of the floor as well. And then also you have to give a hat tip to Malone.
Yes.
Christian Braun has not been playing well. In the preseason, he did pretty good on the defensive end of the floor.
Yeah.
And then also in the last game, he just really didn't show up. Even in this game, there was times that it was ups and downs where he's missing layups and things like that. That did not stop him from pulling him out of the game. He still wanted to hang his hat on defense, and he did. So just like the new guy stepping up and the new approach from Malone, it won them that game.
Malone really does deserve, in my opinion, a huge tip of the hat, because
Absolutely.
one of the things we talked about coming into this game was you got to play Ish Smith with the bench, maybe get Zeke Nod, all the adjustments we had he didn't do, but he did make adjustments. They were just different,
Right.
and they were the right adjustments tonight.
And I mean, going to a rookie at Golden State, when you need guys you can trust, and he doesn't know if he can trust Christian Braun yet, but maybe after tonight he knows he can. That takes guts, from Malone. Nuggets are 0-1 on the season. They wanted this game, and he took a risk. That risk paid off.
Yeah, and I got to say that, and it's not just that he made a crazy move or this or that. Christian Braun does make sense. He had faith in the rookie because Christian Braun plays defense, and tonight you on the perimeter, and you needed that tonight. So it made sense, and it paid off.
Yeah.
Vogt, your last up. What's your big
Two-pronged,
takeaway?
real quick one, just to piggyback off Dev. Honorary king of the game to Calvin Booth. This is the vision. A lot of those guys
I
came up
love
big
that.
tonight. I'm going to do it. Stick with Porter because he's sticking with it. Great first half. Look, there's always give and take with Porter. A lot of moments in the first half. Plenty of give and take in the first half. For the most part, though, I thought Porter did a lot of things well in the first half. Second half, it got shaky. Malone pulled him off the floor. I wasn't sure if he was going to come back in. Malone went to him. And it's not just the block, guys. Steph knew he had the absolute right guy to drag out.
They went at him a lot.
It was a giraffe on skates. It's Michael Porter Jr. He did not want to take him to the rim. He wanted that three, and he worked for that three, and Mike didn't give it to him.
Yep.
And then he adjusted to the two, and Mike was with him. And one of the craftiest finishers around the rim in the game, Mike denies him in one of the biggest spots of the game. Stick with the generational talent.
Yeah. It's how many times do we see that play in the playoffs? Steph gets the switch, takes his
100
guy
times.
off the bounce. A lot of times it was MPJ. And how many of those finishes did Steph have at the rim in that first round series last year?
And look, what's the Herm Edwards lines? We could build on this. That's what it is for Porter. Is
Yes.
that he really
Yes.
competed in that
Yes.
moment, and it's one of those ones where it's you are 6'10". You have this built-in advantage, and he just did a great job of using that tonight and obviously getting the block. By the way, he also made 5 of 10 threes, which is, with Michael Porter, it's so funny. Almost 95% of the league, 98% of the league, maybe, if they ever go 5 of 10, nothing else they do matters. You're did you see so-and-so had 5 threes tonight, 5 of 10?
Yeah.
It's with Porter, that's the expected part. He's
I know.
got to make some threes. I love that we talked about Michael Malone and his willingness. Look, we're only 2 games in. I didn't love the way he managed the game when everybody was healthy in Utah. I didn't love the way that he did the rotations in the first half. He adjusted in the second half, though, even though it was way too late and they were down 22. Tonight, this was full blended lineups. We saw it the entire time, and I thought they were the right ones, even though they weren't necessarily the ones that I would have chosen myself. The way the game played out, you were you know what? He had his finger on the pulse for this one, and so I tip my hat to it. And then I love that you shouted out Calvin Booth here because, the Nuggets scored 128 points on the Warriors tonight. And a lot of that is King Yoke with a triple-double, 26, 12, and 10, and just 7 of 13, 11 of 11 from the free throw line. He does everything like he always does. You have capable but not great offensive players on the court with him tonight. But you have some great defensive players on the court. And we've learned that Yoke, in this level that he's reached over the last 2 or 3 years, he doesn't necessarily need the greatest offensive talents next to him. He needs KCP. He needs Bruce Brown. He needs that caliber of player who's going to defend.
Yeah.
So I see I'm with you, too. I watch a game tonight like tonight. It's a regular season game. It's game 2. But I watch it and I go, I see the vision. That's a lot of defenders that you were able to throw at the Warriors tonight, and it made an impact.
I mean, you can say, after watching this game tonight, again, I'm buying, the Nuggets defense. And
they gave up 123, but it is the Warriors.
It is the Warriors. A lot of that was late, too. when the game was like
This is
over.
true.
That's true. They actually scored more points in the final 2 minutes.
You think about some of the defensive lineups that the Nuggets can throw out there. I mean, we saw a bunch of them tonight, but you have Bruce Brown, KCP, Christian Braun, Aaron Gordon.
Yep.
Those 4 guys, those are 4 like above average to elite defenders.
Right.
And you just think about all the combinations around Nikola Jokic, around Michael Porter, around Jamal Murray, that you can make all the different lineups with those guys. It's exciting, man. And exactly, Vogt. This is what Calvin Booth wanted this team to look like.
Yeah.
And it does.
I felt like at the end of this game, they could have closed with Mike. They had other options. And
Yeah. I was wondering if they were going to close with him.
that they did and it worked is amazing, but just that they had those options is a different feeling than years past.
Yeah, you talked about those options. That's the biggest difference from last year. They were down a lot of guys, and then the guys that they were going to have to put in is like a Austin Rivers and players like that. And it's not to just knock them or anything like that, but there's just like a night and day difference between what they have this year and last year. Right now, when you look at the vision of Calvin Booth, it wasn't only defenders, it was long defenders. They hassled them with their length today. It was too much for the guards. And also it just gave them different looks that they're not used to. When you have a guy that can stop Steph Curry, a Jordan Poole, it's other shifty like type of defenders that can just chase them around and try to get through those screens. Now they have guys that can chase, but they're also like a lot longer, and that makes it a little bit more difficult.
Here's the thing. Last year, the Nuggets had Austin Rivers and Facu Campasso for these types of games.
For these roles. You're
now
right.
they
You're
have
right.
Contavious Caldwell-Pope and Bruce Brown.
Yep.
There's a little difference there, I think. A little difference.
A little bit of a difference there. I don't want to move on too quickly from Christian Braun because I just want to ask this one question. Tonight, he was a plus 14. How crazy is that? A game high, might I mention, plus 14. He only had 4 points. I thought he had more than that.
He smoked like 3 layups.
He did smoke a lot.
but-
He did have 5. Listen to this, though, stat line. 4 points, 2 of 5 shooting, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. Again, he just does stuff. And this is what I said in the summer at Summer League, even though he was shooting the ball poorly, and some people were like, I'm out on him, he's this or that. I was like, yeah, but he does stuff. You know,
Yeah,
like he's
I
not
agree.
making shots, and maybe he never does,
I
and
agree.
then it's not going to work out. At some point, you have to make shots. But there's something, too, you just grabbed a few rebounds, you grabbed a few loose balls, you grabbed a few steals, you even assists, you just knew where the ball was supposed to go naturally. I'll say this. I have been saying that, and what's funny is this is the best game I've watched Christian Braun play, so this is not like I did not
By
see this
far.
coming. I did not see it coming. But I did say, and I stand by it even more now, that if you said Davon Reed, Christian Braun, which one? Davon Reed makes shots or doesn't, but he doesn't do stuff. Christian Braun does stuff every single night, and maybe one day he'll make shots.
Yeah, I mean, that'll get better, right? In theory, knock on
Yeah,
wood.
it has to get better. But also, he's like you said, he's producing at all times. Every single time that he's on the court, he's very active.
Yeah.
And that's what, like, being a rookie, that's why, like, not learning, like, the like, small tricks that you can learn throughout the way. And then just off of instinct alone, he's able to make these plays. He's jumping into passing lanes. He's being aggressive and using his size and speed. He's getting to the rim and getting the shots that he wants every single time. When that starts falling, that's a guy that you can't take out of the lineup. So for them to find that in game 2, there's just another tool, piece, a tool that you could put in the box and just have.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, we'll go through the panel here real quick. Dev, should he move up a spot in the rotation? Meaning, is he a guy you want to see more of in this role?
I certainly want to see more of him, especially in these type of games where you're going to have a lot of different bodies to throw at guys.
Right.
Have a lot of people that you could, use that size, use that athleticism, and make guys work hard. And if you look around, every team has a guy like this that you could just put him in for a few minutes. So, yeah, I would love to see him play a little bit more, and I think that he earned a little bit more minutes.
Yeah.
Harrison?
I 100% agree. And I think the point you made about how he just naturally does stuff and has a nose for the ball that Davon Reed doesn't might be the separator here. Christian Braun's also 2 inches taller.
Right.
He's just a bigger defender, a little more versatile too. And his motor's ridiculous. His motor's it runs way higher than Davon Reed's does. He should be a good rebounder. I want to see way more of Christian Braun for sure.
Are we making a full sweep?
Do I want to see more?
Are you
Christian
tweeting?
Brown?
What do you got? What's this fire tweet you got going on?
We've
Read
got
it to us. Read
We've
it to us
got
real quick.
1.4 thousand winners hanging out in the lounge tonight.
That's not that good of a tweet,
Tap
but I
in.
do like it. Yeah, tap in. That's a good one.
He's
It's a good
trying
one.
to
You're doing
promote
your
the
job.
show. How
I'm
can you
on
hate
the show
that?
right now as well. So
I
there's-
like that one.
There's that
Yeah,
element.
I like that one.
Thank you.
What's the question? Yeah, Christian Braun. He can play more. I'm into it.
You're into it. Yeah.
Listen, Davon Reed, I don't want to turn into a hater.
Me neither. This is not like
there's like
Davon
a-
Reed, he just is what he is.
He is what he is. And I think you put it really well. Like, he'll knock down some shots. He can play defense. But there are often times where you're like, all right, we've gone a long stretch without kind of noticing him on the court one way or another.
Right.
And Christian Braun is in the mix of things. And this shouldn't be rare, but it is rare for a player to play hard 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And Christian Braun has that.
Yeah, this was a very impressive game for him. I think he won a lot of fans. And I think we are going to end up seeing more of him. Let's take our first break, though. On the other side, we have barely talked about the king, Nikola Jokic, the two-time reigning MVP, who I think is just so freaking transcendent, man. The stuff he does, it's like, honestly, tonight was like a B-plus game for him, and yet he really was at the center of literally every single thing that happens for the Nuggets. We'll talk about him on the other side, KCP a little bit, and, of course, got to get into the other Brown, Bruce Brown.
Hassel Cattle Company, guys, they're back with us. So if you've never taken advantage of Hassel Cattle Company before, check these guys out. Go to HassleCattleCompany.com.
Beef train.
Get 20% off your entire purchase with the code DNVR20. Hassel Cattle Beef. It's raised in Texas on a family farm. It's the best damn Wagyu beef you've ever had. Go to HassleCattleCompany.com. Pick out what you want. They've got whatever type of beef you want. Tons of options to choose from. Check out. They'll deliver it right to your door. HassleCattleCompany.com. Use the code DNVR20. Remember, use the code DNVR20. Get 20% off your entire purchase. Also at DraftKings Sportsbook right now, guys, the NBA is back. The Nuggets are back. Basketball's back. Tip off the season with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers right now can make any $5 NBA moneyline bet and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Also, not just new users, everybody can boost their winnings up to 100% with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, opt in, place a stepped-up same-game parlay bet today, or just watch the pregame show, and we'll tell you how to win money there. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code DNVR. Make any $5 bet this week. Get $200 in free bets if your team wins, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. With promo code DNVR and minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Apparently, Yoke gave a shout-out to Christian Braun in the
Love it.
post-game, as well as Bones and DeAndre Jordan, which is kind of interesting. So
Hey, there was
He was
good
just
DeAndre
naming
Jordan
teammates.
it's just like
Just
the ones you
naming
can
all of them.
remember.
Who played tonight?
Bruce.
Christian.
Names
played.
everyone but Mike.
Bruce Brown tonight. Guys, this was a tough one. In fact, you should put it in the chat who's king of the game, but we decided one, and I decided one. I gave it to Bruce Brown tonight. Bruce Brown got king of the game tonight. 20 points from
20
him
piece.
on 8 of 10 shooting,
Yeah.
including 3 of 4 from the three-point line. 3 of 4.
Yeah, it's big time.
And
his,
guess
his
what?
two misses were that 1-3 and that one floater, I think.
Right.
And here's what's crazy. He also had 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. Talk about doing stuff. Here's the crazy thing. He had 20 points on 8 of 10 shooting. His defense was the one thing that stood out tonight. That guy is a menace.
He's a menace,
Bruce
man.
Brown is an absolute menace. And look, tonight, no Jamal Murray. So guess what? Bruce Brown plays almost all of his minutes with Jokic tonight, and I thought he was great.
Yeah.
What do you see, Harrison?
I mean, I've been saying this ever since Bruce Brown got here. He's so much better when he's playing with Jokic and as many starters as possible. His skill set is just perfect to play next to Nikola Jokic. It's not perfect when he's playing on an all-bench second unit. Hopefully we never see that again. But tonight, man, talk about motor like we were referencing
his
with
motor's
Christian Brown.
insane.
Bruce Brown's motor is unreal. It's ridiculous. And
Lockdown Brown.
he was locked down tonight. When I talked to him for that feature I wrote on how much he loves golf and country music and defense, he was like, I know why I'm in Denver. I'm here to defend. And you can just see that manifest every single minute he plays. Like, the guy competes harder than I think anybody else on this roster on the defensive end of the floor. He lives to defend. That's what he takes pride in. And like a matchup against the Golden State Warriors, this is what Bruce Brown lives for. He lives for these type of defensive assignments. He wants these matchups. And I mean, again, going back to your point about Calvin Booth, Vogt, like this is why the Nuggets brought in Bruce Brown for games like this.
By the way, that nickname is reversible, like a reversible hoodie. Lockdown Brown, Knockdown Brown. We've got the best live chat in the world.
I didn't know where you're going with that.
I didn't either. I was like, all right.
I was like, that's
3
not
of 4,
a
dude. It's
palindrome.
perfect.
The only thing, so here's what's interesting, because I love this lineup where you just have defenders in the backcourt. There is one Achilles heel to it, and that's late game situations. You kind of want a good point guard.
You missed Jamal, man.
You missed Jamal Murray tonight.
The last minute and a half of this, you missed a true point guard.
Yeah.
But that's the great part about it is he does not have to be that every single time.
That's true.
Now you want other guys to come in and be able to step up. What I think is great is just looking at what Brown was tonight. He was a fill-in, but now if you're Malone, you got to say, do we want to bring Jamal off the bench just for a little bit? Not because he uprooted him in the starting lineup, but as you work your guy in, we talked about how they just did it with Kawhi Leonard. You might as well just ride the wave right now. Like Bruce Brown looks great in that lineup.
That.
We've been actually talking about
ride the wave.
We've been talking about it this entire the entire season. Or even in the preseason, about how we think that Bruce Brown's going to be in their best lineup because he's going to be alongside Jokic, and I think that it just brings the best out of a Jokic type of lineup. Just give him all defenders, and then have a guy like that can step up on both sides of the floor. When you look at a Brown, you bring him in and you say this is going to be a guy that's only going to be defense. And then he goes 8 of 10, and you're like, okay, now what do we do? He can score too, so he just adds a new dynamic to the team where you can't just leave him out there like I think a lot of teams expect it to do.
And just to be clear, chat, Dev is saying that Bruce Brown is better than Jamal Murray. That's what he's saying categorically.
I think Dev's got an interesting point.
So you can quote him on that and then get
lineup.
mad at him on that for a while.
The lineup looked great tonight.
It's looked great every time they played it.
It really
in the preseason,
has.
It looked great too.
There's a lot to it.
There's something to
There's a
this,
lot to
man,
it.
and it's funny because I got my buddy Sam Esfandiari, Warriors fan, and he's texting me all night saying he's like a bit of an anti-Murray guy. I'm not an anti-Murray guy.
How is this guy your friend? I'm just kidding. I love Sam too.
But he's texting me and he's saying, he's a big believer of Denver. You just got to give Yoke some defenders, and Porter is enough offensively. And look, man, we've seen 2 preseason games, and we've seen this, and I will say it's a great form. I'm not saying it's the form. I do think to win you need to have multiple forms. But I look at this and I go, the Brown KCP, yes, MPJ with his flaws defensively and what have you. But I mean, my God, the guy on offense is he just saves you 5 possessions a game. He saves, not just saves you, he turns it into a 3-pointer. And you're like, well, that was great.
nice.
That was really nice to have.
Yeah.
And then Aaron Gordon, of course, and then Jokic. It's a lineup that I look at and I go, that's a championship caliber lineup. On its own, it's not. But it's part of the equation for me, and it does factor into how we have to look at this whole thing.
I think just to have that as an option that you can go to.
Yes, but the reason why Jamal is so important beyond all the obvious, his talent, we get it. But you guys touched on it. We saw it tonight, and we saw it all last year. You still want him around crunch time. You absolutely want him on the floor closing the game. So I think, again, what we're kind of hitting on, and it's weird because Murray's not running at 100%, is just options, and they haven't had options in the past.
It's an option.
KCP also tonight, 7 of 14, 3 of 6 from the 3-point line, including some huge ones, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Here's my big takeaway from this one. You can tell me if you agree. I felt like he has been maybe not ready to shoot, and so I'm he's filling him out. Tonight, I felt like he was I'm ready to shoot. The one that sticks out the most is the Yoke. He loves this. When they're running that corner option, that C option in the corner, and Yoke is reading it, and really he's reading out of his corner. He threw that one to him. KCP looked like he was he's going to throw it to me, isn't he? Yep, he's going to he was ready.
Well, you remember
it.
in the preseason.
Yeah, I put this on Twitter tonight. I think that's Jokic's signature pass now.
It may be.
You know what's funny about it is it's actually, when you break it down, not that hard of a read. And this is why I say I always wish Jokic played when I was growing up. If you're thinking about it, what they're running is Jokic is at the top of the key, and you have a guard who's going down and then over to screen for the wing that's going to go to the corner. And all Jokic is doing is reading the helper over here
really
while he
not
waits
that complicated.
for it. He's waiting for it, and then if he sees him out of his periphery, he just throws it.
He just does it better than
just does
anyone.
it.
That's the thing. We say that, but Embiid missed the pass while staring right at the guy.
He's just perfect. at
DeAndre
that,
Jordan also
though.
had that one tonight where he was
Michael was
Faked it
you're
5 times.
Yeah.
Jay's what the hell are you
Watching
doing?
DeAndre Jordan try to pass is one of the underrated hilarious parts of every
Can I tell
game.
you something though? Nobody ever tries this shit, and then you
Yeah.
get to Denver and you're like watching Jokic, and you're like, I'm gonna try it. Maybe he is.
I can do that.
Hey, there's a small chance. I'm not betting on it, guys. I'm just saying there's a small chance by March DeAndre's throwing these.
I'll take that bet right now. You want to make that bet?
How small of a chance, Adam?
Let's make that bet.
But yeah, he is shot ready, and I think he really spent his training camp and preseason, which are apparently now the same thing. I think he spent those learning that that's really his number one job when on the floor with Jokic is on offense.
Yeah.
Be ready.
Yeah.
And we know he's had the spacing part down. Jokic has talked about that from the jump. But he looked ready to shoot everything that came his way. Even some things maybe he shouldn't have shot tonight, but for the most part, it worked out. And
that mid-range in particular, man, like
That mid-range.
he was confident with it, and it's an important shot.
the offense with KCP can be a little volatile depending on like how much he's exploring his game versus staying within his role.
A little Will Barton-esque.
But like he's not a scrub. Like this guy can get you 12 points. You know, this guy can score. And so we saw the KCP fitting right into place tonight. It was great.
Then we got to talk about King Yoke. I'm looking at the chat poll that Kale put up. Great work, Kale. 45% say Jokic, 40% Bruce Brown, 15% Christian Braun. And we got some good votes, 300 votes on it and counting.
I mean,
I'm not
Jokic was
surprised.
good.
Look, I'm not surprised. That's close enough for me to feel like we made the right call.
Sure.
Guys, we could give it to Nikola Jokic literally every single night.
We gave it to him last game.
82 games in a year. Yoke probably would deserve, we were just grading everybody equally. Yoke probably would win, I'm not kidding, 75 of these. There might be 7 games where one person outshined him, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe. So we could do it. And honestly, tonight, he was so spectacular because one of the things I love about that lineup of all the defenders is they all trust Jokic completely.
Right.
Even Porter, who I have to tip my hat, like I'm some of the defensive stuff drives me nuts. I tip my hat to him because he's playing within the flow of the offense right now extremely well and not forcing things. They all trust him and they allow him to orchestrate. And guess what? Draymond Green's a tough matchup. The Warriors are a tough matchup. He still made it. They still put 128 points on him.
Yeah, this is a team that they hang their hat on their defense, and also they're not afraid to send double teams. They're not afraid to get physical with him, and he went into this game knowing that they're going to send double teams and they're going to be physical with him. What did he do? He was more aggressive in this game. He started out the game aggressive, trying to score. He went to the free throw line 11 times and knocked down every single free throw. So this was a game that he was like, okay, I know what they're going to do. Now you guys have to shift around me, and I'm going to make it happen. 11-11 from the free throw line, shooting the 3 ball, active on offense and trying to make things happen, and also played within the flow. Yoke looked very comfortable, and that's against a team that has multiple bigs that are known to slow him down or that can be like Jokic stoppers, and he goes in and has a triple-double. He cruised into a triple-double. So, I mean, this guy can do anything, and I hope that he looks at these games and say, hey, if I could do that against them, the defending champions, who ended the season last year, I could do that against everybody. He's going to have monster games, and they're going to win a lot of games this year.
Yeah. Well, I just think he's pretty comfortable against the Warriors. He was pretty comfortable against them for most of that series last year. He's played really well against them over the years. I just think he's comfortable against this team and the defensive assignments he sees.
Draymond, though, I will say, Draymond guarded him really well in the fourth quarter. Like, there were some plays that Yoke had to go. I mean, that and one he hit was
what a fucking shot, man.
But I mean, it was
unbelievable.
one of those plays that was literally perfect defense and perfect offense.
It was too good of offense, though. Yeah. But we challenged Nikola Jokic on the pregame show to come out and set the tone early, and I thought he did to start the first quarter.
Of course.
Rebounding and on the offensive end, just taking it right to the post. So I felt like he started off the game great, and of course just had a classic Nikola Jokic fourth quarter.
Yeah, one other thing that I'll add about Jokic is we talked about setting the tone early. This was a game that he didn't take a lot of time to try to determine what was happening or try to read what was happening.
He was aggressive.
He set the tone aggressively from the opening tip where they had to adjust to him instead of the other way around. And that's just something that you want to see from a guy that's just so talented offensively. Like, I think that was awesome.
Yeah. It was really great. I mean, he's incredible. Aaron Gordon's the one guy tonight that I thought was a little bit off, and we talked about it earlier, but 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 0 of 6 from 3.
Yikes.
At some point, Aaron Gordon is going to have to be able to knock down these shots. Like, he's going to have streaky nights. But teams are, as Draymond was tonight, and Draymond, by the way, is in his head. I mean, he's really trying to attack Draymond. I talked about this last
loves
year.
playing Aaron Gordon.
Because he thinks he can get under his skin. And I thought in the playoffs last year, AG did a very good job of not letting him too much.
By the end.
I mean, he definitely figured it out. But tonight was like, nope, AG, you completely fell into the trap. And it's not about shooting the three. Tonight, that was the texture of the game. You got to knock him down.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't necessarily have the confidence. But when he wasn't knocking him down, and when Draymond was talking his shit, and then Draymond knocked down a couple threes tonight, like, it was the worst of everything when Draymond, he only hit one.
Does anything stink more than that? Draymond knocking down.
I could have
three.
sworn
But it
it
happened.
too.
But it happened at the exact moment when AG was missing his, and then Draymond hit his, and you just know. Like, I couldn't see it, I couldn't hear, but I promise you, he was letting him know about that. And I thought AG, it just got to him. Like, you could just tell, got AG, and he's like, "Fine, I'm going to drive it." And it's like, "Yeah, I'm going to steal that from you. You're not giving the ball to Yoke. Sweet, I won." AG just has to learn from that. This is a frustrating lesson. It's a tough one. It was a little bit of an off night for him, but you know what? Nuggets get the win anyway.
Yeah.
Should we go down to the other side here? I want to talk a little bit here about Bones. I mentioned it earlier. He was a plus 13 tonight, had 14 points and 5 assists. He did have 3 turnovers, just 1 of 3 from the 3-point line and 4 of 10. Bones tonight was, to me, a quintessential this is where Bones is game. Because there were things in it tonight where you saw one-on-one, good defenders on him, just cooks them, absolutely cooks them. But there were also moments in this game where it doesn't close out. Like there was a play, Steph Curry gets a wide-open 3, and it's because he rotates over, and then on the recovery, he didn't realize the next chain, and who's left wide open? Steph Curry. And it's like, yeah, it's the same with Michael Porter. You can hit all these great threes, but when you give up and ones right at the basket, it just cancels everything out. With Bones, you can do all this great shot creating, but when you lose Steph Curry, like that costs double, you're giving up. So to me, this was a game from Bones. I thought he was good. I thought he was very good tonight. But you do see where he is right now is not going to be where he is in March and April on those things. Right now, he makes them every 7 or 8 plays. He makes one of those mistakes. Yeah. Get that down to once every 15 plays, and you'll be all right.
Yeah, this was a game about lessons when it came to Bones. Like a lot is riding on him this year, and you want him to learn from those type of mistakes. And luckily for Denver, this was a game that Bruce Brown played so well that it didn't fall on Bones, and Malone didn't make it a point to say, no, we're going to teach him how to go through it on the fly or in the middle of that of the game. He didn't play a lot of minutes, and when he did play well, it was well. Like he had 19 minutes in the game, and until the end of the game, we would have thought this was a great Bones game, honestly. Because he scored at will. He stepped up in the big moments, hit some big shots. That pass to finish off where him and Brown had that connection, that pass was incredible. That's when he gets to dancing and things like that. But then you see the bonehead mistakes.
Nice.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, that was nice.
He had those bonehead mistakes where he he makes that pass where he throws it to the other
I thought he got
team
fouled on that.
But he shouldn't have made the pass anyway.
Or he's dribbling away from Yoke. And
you
dribbling
just
into a
don't
double
do those
team.
type of things. So that's where you learn. But it was good to see the good and the bad, and for him to learn the lesson on a win rather than him having to take that all in on a loss.
Yeah. I tweeted that clip out from when Bones came on the show, and he was talking about how much of a hooper he is. Because that was him tonight, man. He was in that mode, and he was feeling himself. He was confident. He was a little cocky, which I think can be a good and bad thing sometimes with him. I would love to see Bones' stats when he's on national TV versus when he's not, because I always feel like he plays up on national TV.
First half, he was great. A big part of that all the difference bench one, really, when you look at the end of the game. But he just has some moments where I think he can fall into the I've been challenged mano-a-mano thing a little bit.
Sure.
And you like the intensity, but it's also the one where he put it behind the back and then tried to finish with the layup, and then I think he turned it over. There are just these moments where you go, I get that you wanted to respond, but that was a take care of the ball possession. That was a point guard possession. But it's tough. It's tough because you don't want him to lose that. You don't want to take that out of him.
And they kind of need it with that second unit.
Yeah,
they
need a little bit. But it's just, if there's middle ground, if there's growth, just some possessions okay, we need a floor general more than a Bones in this possession.
And that's what I mean about right now. I mean, he's a second-year player. right now, 1 out of every 7 possessions for him feels like a negative. Not just a neutral, like you miss a shot or whatever, but like, oh no, that was the wrong direction you took the possession or what have you. You just get that to 1 out of every 15 by March, April, and it's just such a different ball game. Like basketball is as much about the mistakes that you can eliminate as they are the plays that you can make. And right now he makes incredible plays and a few mistakes in that I just think he's going to learn through experience and through this or that. Jeff Green, DeAndre Jordan, I don't really have too many notes. DeAndre Jordan had some big moments in this game. I got to say, he's been better than I expected. I don't want to go all the way in and say like I'm fully in on the DeAndre Jordan train, but tonight he had a couple plays where it was like Wiseman, a young guy, he had to go up through it, grab a rebound through him, then go back up through him, and he did it. And it's like, oh, that's what you're in there for. You're in there to rebound and create those possessions. He had a lob finish that was like, a hammer down. So
he can still get up.
Yeah, I hope we're not just like
he's drinking whatever Jeff Green is drinking.
Yeah, I hope we're not just passing over them. I think that they were incredible in this game.
Jeff Green has those back-to-back threes.
Because if you looked at how badly how poorly they played in the last game, it was night and day. And also, the second unit won the game in this one. Like the second unit, really turned on, and that was what we did not see in the last game. Jeff Green had an incredible game. Really, he played really well. DeAndre Jordan didn't miss anything. He had a big block in this game, and also just grabbed every single rebound that came his way. So those two were they were dominant together today.
Guys, 2 weeks from today, we are hopping on a party bus. Hopping on a party bus and heading to Ball Arena live from here. But guess what? You've only got 2 days left to sign up.
Get on this.
You got to sign up. You guys are feeling the vibes. You know how fun this was. We got Flo in the house. All right, we got King of the Chat in the house. Was it fun at the bar tonight? Was it good to be at the bar tonight? It was lit.
Strong reviews.
They were very quiet.
Flo said it was lit.
Very loud. No, Flo just went like this.
Flo looks like he's ready to go to bed.
Are you jet lagged? I'm guessing. Oh, you
No
just
mics.
scream. You just scream.
Give us some enthusiasm.
You just scream. Just say, there it is. There it was.
Does everybody know who King of the Chat is, you think?
King of the Chat, Ray, of course.
King Ray. If they're in the chat.
But guys, I'm telling you, the party bus is a great time. You're going to want to be here. You come to the bar, you have dinner, you have a few drinks, you meet people. The best part about the party bus is honestly that you meet people. Guys like Ray who are regulars at the DNVR bar, every time you have one of these party buses, you make friends, and then you end up coming here. We have a group of people that come to the bar almost every single game now. Just because it's you came here, you made some friends. Where did you guys meet? At the DNVR bar. Party bus is a great chance for that. So whether you're alone with a group of buddies or whatever it is, buy your tickets now. There's going to be a link in the description that you can check out, I believe. So there's a link in the description. Just go there, buy the ticket. It's the ticket to the Nuggets game and the party bus. It's a great time.
And they're playing the Spurs, too.
They're going to win. The Spurs, they might win by 50. They might win by 50. Well, actually, let's make a crazy prediction in that game. Bones Highland, 30 points. Are you going to miss it?
You don't want to miss that.
Take us to break.
Guys, pick up some Broncos Country Pale Ale.
Let's ride.
Yeah, let's fucking ride, man.
Let's ride.
Breckenridge Brewery is the official beer of DNVR. It's Broncos season, so we got to be drinking that Broncos Country Pale Ale. Pick it up at your local liquor store. If you don't know where to get it, check out the Breck Brew beer locator on their website. That will tell you where to get the Broncos Country Pale Ale. Wherever you are, if it's a Bronco game, we're all drinking that Broncos Country Pale Ale from Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR. Also, Travis Legal.
That's what it looks like.
303-766-8766. 303-766-8766. If you've been in a car crash that wasn't your fault, and you've got injuries, medical bills, lost income, all that stuff is such a headache to deal with. It's so stressful.
It's real.
Travis Legal will make that process so much smoother for you. Give them a call. They understand how tough of a position you're in. They understand the stress you're under, but they make that process so easy for you. So give these guys a call, 303-766-8766. You can get a free consultation on your personal injury matter. Travis Legal, 303-766-8766.
I understand we have a few super chats to get to here, Kel. We always appreciate those guys, so we always get to them also at the start of the third segment. What do we have here? Jonathan Parker says, Jivali, first W, first triple dub, first super chat of the season,
That's
LFG.
How are we not breaking out the fine rock here?
Because we don't have.
Yeah.
We need our Serbia crew here, though. We need our G to be here.
I was going to say, are we not?
Well, he's
Eric.
missing out.
We need Eric. We need Eric.
Well, they should
He's
have been
probably
here
here
tomorrow night,
somewhere.
Saturday night. Oh, you guys
Delon, you're here?
Yeah, we're here.
He's probably down there.
All right. What else we got? So who has better eyesight than me?
Or like
I got
working
you.
somewhere.
Breaking news: Chase Center plunges into darkness as California suffers from a statewide brownout. That's a
Joseph.
Hell of a
listen.
Snapchat.
Pod listeners, you already know how he
Super
spelled
chat.
brown. You already know. He nailed it. He nailed
Yeah,
it.
brown out. I love it.
Keep him coming, Calais. Master Bruce. There's
I
a
like
good
Master
super
Bruce.
chat.
That works. Master Bruce.
Master
Is that
Bruce,
a Batman reference?
the
I
boss,
get these, baby. I get
Fruit
them.
Ninja.
You didn't think I knew Marvel?
you get the weirdest references.
You do get the weirdest ones. Hit me,
Yeah,
Cam.
how did
What
you
else
get
do we
that
got?
I know Marvel.
10% on cash bets tonight. Let's go Nuggets and DNVR.
Let's
I'm
go,
Let's go,
Eric.
baby.
Yeah,
Let's
remember
go,
who
Eric.
gave you the lock of the night.
He probably
Remember.
went away from it. He probably had his own bet.
He probably
That's actually probably
didn't.
true.
Hey, by the way, that Nuggets go up 7 bet
Yeah.
money.
Me and Kale got in on that.
Thank you, DraftKings.
Marlon paid money to complain after the first win of the season. KCP's fast break layups are infuriating. Literally every time he just jumps into the defender and wildly throws a live ball turnover.
You know what? Get it out, man. If you want to pay us $5 for that, get
I'll
it out,
read it.
man.
I mean, I am for sale. I'll read. You can
for sale.
criticize
It wasn't
Michelle.
more frustrating
That
than
pissed
that.
him off.
It wasn't more frustrating than that Jeff Green
It's
mislap,
hilarious
though.
of all the things that happened. You're like, you know what? Those
You
layups,
that
those
KCP.
fast breaks. those son of
Jeff
a-
Green was like,
son
I'm
of a
going to
bitch.
dunk it, I'm going to dunk it, I'm going to dunk it, I'm going to lay it
I'm
up.
going to lay it
It's
up.
the number 5.
Clean that
jersey,
up,
man. It's the
KCP, or
number
else
5
we'll
jersey.
keep getting paid.
Yeah. All right. What else do we got?
The alternate timeline.
Uh,
My takeaway is that the Nugs are built to run with the Warriors now. Bruce, KCP, CB on Steph, Clay, and Poole is huge. The rookie erasing Poole was big. That's actually huge,
Big
man.
time.
And I'm telling you, it's funny, man. I can say that I say this with confidence. That I know that Calvin, part of his philosophy when he took over the team was looking at this Warrior series and just saying, to win a title, you're going to have to beat a team like the Warriors. Maybe the Warriors or maybe a team like them that just has so many
Yeah.
guys in the backcourt. And to do that, you can't have negative defenders out there. You have to have a whole stable of them. So your point about that, they're built to play the Warriors, I mean, there's something to it. There's something
Man.
actually literally about, like, the thought process was, okay, let's see if
yeah,
this
there's
works.
a lot to it.
I don't want to see this series until the conference finals, but I want to see the Nuggets play the Warriors again in the playoffs with
This was-
this roster.
You want to know something?
I would love that match.
This was high-level basketball for Game 2.
yeah.
This is what makes the Jazz game so much weirder.
Man.
But this was like a very smart and disciplined Warriors team, and Denver was up for the challenge of that.
yeah.
So many. Clay was afraid to help off Mike because he's Mike. So many reasons why it could be different. Super chat, this to send you to Serbia in 2023.
Let's
Thank
go.
you, David.
Hey, man,
I
I'm
will
down.
gladly
Keep
go
those
back.
coming.
Oh, I miss it so
$5 at a
bad.
time.
I do.
Oh, I
miss it
miss
a
it so
lot.
bad. By the way, documentary on
Take me
Avaka
back.
TV. Stop streaming illegally, guys. Buy Avaka TV. Support
you're
them.
breaking
And
the law.
You're also going to get... Yeah, don't stream
We
the...
got a lot of ats tonight. People are watching on Evoca
I love
from
that.
their home setup.
we
I love
love
that.
Avaka.
And guess what? The
shows.
documentary drops. I've got it on my... I've got it open right now. The draft we have currently on my computer, my laptop. Right here, I got the draft.
wow. Look
at that.
Oh, my.
Of,
What?
100 invisible threads.
That's on it?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's on it, man.
Hey, real quick, I want to make a plea before I read this next super chat. 400 likes. I think our record's somewhere around 500 if we could break it
it's-
tonight.
it's a
Yeah, don't be a
1,000.
coward
Is it
like the
1,000?
show.
It's a 1,000.
Well, it's easier to just lie and then
Yeah.
they... Okay.
It's
Brucifer.
one more if you could be that one person.
Brucifer.
Brucifer was all over the
Brucifer.
place. Too tall Tucker.
If we need to make somebody a nickname, we'll definitely get a lot of nominations.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah,
Nick
we will.
Wright punching the air like Cuba Gooding.
I love it.
$9.99
I love it. What an idiot.
Danny K says Nuggets are officially 1-0 when vibes are immaculate. Great game. Let's go. Also a yeah mic in the first
I want to
45
propose
seconds.
that we just forget the first game of the season. Ever
I
happened.
tried that in the pregame.
We will never talk about or even acknowledge that game again.
Dude,
didn't
a
happen.
yeah mic is so fun. Just when he's dribbling up and you're like, here it comes. I know he's about to do
Guys,
that.
guys, here it comes.
You can't wait to yell yeah, Mike.
guys, wait, watch this.
We got a hand on Eric's shoulder. All right. Give
He
me another
hits
one.
the
A lot of super
craziest
chats
shots.
tonight.
That three that he turned down and turned into that like dribble pull up from like 2 feet to his left. That was way more contested tonight.
Two
And
from,
just nailed it.
two from Don Juan to say Steph got 34 but was still contained. That's actually kind of true.
Steph's good, guys.
Yeah, a lot
He's
of those
really
at the
good.
end,
No, but he
too.
had to
Really
work
good.
for it.
Yeah,
he had to
yeah,
work
of
for it.
course
And he
he
missed
did.
some shots in that first half.
He also hit a lot at the end as to Wynn's point. There
And
was
then-
like 2 or 3 threes at the end.
Yeah,
where you're just
that's
like,
right.
Oh my God.
Don Juan Moore, $2
Don
super
Juan.
chat. Don Juan.
Don
Don
Juan.
Juan. Don Juan. Yosef Duck Monton, $5 super chat. Can we get a KCP related segment called Cantavius or Cantavius?
Wow.
First of all, yes.
Yes,
I don't know.
absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll have
Do you
that
need
segment.
work, Joseph?
Yeah, Joseph.
We just need somebody to come up with segments like that for us.
That's good, Joseph. That we approve. What's matter? $2 super chat. I had to beg my local Denver bar for Nugs.
I hope they turned it on. That was a
What
good
bar?
game.
That's
Call
why.
them out.
That's why you.
Also,
come,
why is this not your local
That's
Denver
why you come
bar?
to the
Hold on,
DNVR bar.
it was ESPN.
Yeah, if you're
though,
at, yeah.
too.
By the way, if you're at a local Denver bar, not the DNVR bar,
It was also on ESPN. What were you
Yeah, it was
watching?
an ESPN game.
No, but listen, that's why we exist. Some bars don't do it. That's why you got to come to us on York and Colfax.
not only was the game on, the crowd was going nuts tonight,
Yeah,
man.
great
The
vibes at
energy
the
in
bar
the building
tonight.
was phenomenal.
like if
Food
you,
was great. Service was great, by the way. Like I know some
Nice.
people maybe came by Wednesday. Service could be a little up and down. We have a new partner here. We have a whole new staff, a whole new management
ironing
team.
out the kinks.
Yeah, ironing out the kinks. They're like, we don't know what it's like when the bar's full. We try to tell them, hey guys, with Nuggets game, it's going to be popping. They're like, oh, we'll see.
Yeah.
They adjusted, did a great job tonight.
So just
Shouts to the
know
bar.
that's the last thing you have to worry about is the game and the game sound when you're here. V Chillin says $2 super chat. Christian left a brownie in the pool. A brownie.
A brownie. Oh, you screwed it
I
up.
did it.
You screwed it up.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure
You know what? I'm
Jordan
glad I
Poole's
figured
never
that one
going to have back-to-back games better than he played against the Nuggets in Game 1 and 2
Dev,
in his life.
Do you approve of the brownie in the pool? Are you?
I mean, it was clever. It was.
It was a good super chat.
All right.
Here comes resident Warriors fan William Mitchell, $10 to say the fact that Wiseman made DJ into a starter level center again annoys me. Good game, Nuggets. The Warriors are going to have bad bench minutes because of him.
I gotta tip my hat to William. Of course, always very cordial, always cool in the chat.
Yeah.
And I also say this, man. Warriors fans that I think know, like Wiseman's getting this a lot of hype right now, and I'm kind of like, I don't know what it's for.
I think it's hype from people not in San Francisco or the Bay Area.
Because he he's athletic, his highlights pop,
Yeah.
but that guy has a long way to go to figure out defense. He's a
Yeah.
bit
I
of
think they
a.
feel the same way.
He's a long
I
way
think
to go.
people who watch him know
Yeah.
how far he has to go.
Yeah, he's got a ways.
Josh Barnett, super sticker, Satan running in a reverse direction.
Love it, Josh.
So good.
Let go
I
of
love
hell.
when they come up with their own.
Let go of
That's
hell.
the best, man. Especially when they're clever.
Andrew Lehman says triple MVP for the triple double king.
I mean, he's got to be in the MVP conversation
At least in
at
the
this
con- At
point
this
in the
very moment,
season.
he's
I
in
know
the
it's
conversation.
early.
He is in the
but
conversation.
I
he's
think
got
he
to be
only
in
needs
it.
one more to tie Wilt, right? For like most triple doubles by a center.
Is he only one away?
He's one away.
We got number
that's
one of the
Dev-
season
I love when
tonight.
Dev brings this.
I would still give it to Tatum.
That's a
though.
shocking stat, Dev.
I don't know. Right now, Harden's up there for me too, man.
Yeah, Harden, Tatum, they're in the conversation.
Harden's been
Yeah,
hard to roll.
there's a big conversation right
Harden
now.
is carrying a very underwhelming.
Yeah,
I mean, you could probably
like a 7
put-
foot size load.
Probably put Laurie Markkinen in the conversation for the
You
2-0
actually-
Jazz.
he actually-
he's
you
in
kid.
the conversation.
Two. Yeah, he's
Kid.
in
All right,
the
what else we got?
He might be the front runner. Jason Cap says, this to send you to the Grizzly Rose to line step with Bruce Brown and take a
my
couple
God.
shots.
Oh my God!
Also
Will
dirty-
he ever go to the Grizzly Rose?
Will I ever go to the Grizzlies?
We got to get Dev to the Grizzly Rose.
Let's go to the Grizzly Rose.
Let's
Next
go.
field trip. Next
All
field.
right, field
Also,
trip.
dirty play by Draymond Green for sure. Following on Jokic's
Kel,
knee.
will you pull up the photo that I sent you? Can we say, because we didn't even talk about this just because, you know what, I'm too disgusted. I can't believe at one point I ever loved Draymond Green.
Yeah, we should all start on
He started
him.
a podcast for like 3 episodes. It was interesting. Look at this fall, man. I'm telling you.
He was nowhere near the ball,
Guys,
too, man. It's
guys,
terrible.
guys, this was not an accident.
It's a dirty ass play. Everybody knows
dirty
it.
ass play,
Warriors
man.
fans know it. We know it.
And then he
It's
still
a
gets
dirty
We're not
play.
going to be
You
the
okay?
whiny little babies about
Just
it.
gonna
but you
say
know
what it is.
We're just going to
No,
say what
it's
it is.
fine. We can
Bro,
move
he's
on.
turning backwards. right
Draymond's
now.
always
ridiculous.
just falling into players who are kicking his ass.
He's
That's
like,
all
oh, I
I'm
guess
gonna
my
say.
knee just hit you in the jaw somehow.
Whatever.
Then
Let-
he's like overly like, oh my God, are you okay?
I know. I love
Do you
the
know
run
who
over
did
to
it?
make sure he's good.
Do you know who is
Yeah.
the reason my leg almost fell off? It was you.
Can
it
I?
was you.
Honest question. When he went down, when Yoke went down like that, I thought for sure he was injured.
Yeah, it looked horrible.
I
I-
thought for sure that was something.
I didn't because those plays have happened to Yoke in the past, and somehow he's the only player in the world that's just fine after that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you
you
don't
know?
want to talk it like that. That was actually a bad play. Like honestly, like the Nuggets and Jokic dodged a bullet on that.
For
Like
real.
the guy is really just playing reckless out there.
Draymond,
that was like
that was
It was
reckless.
out of like the game was over. You're really just trying all extra hard. Then you're gonna try to say like, "Are you okay?" and things like that. I didn't like it.
It's easy to pile on. I am looking forward to the documentary of his reaction to punching his own teammate in the face.
Yeah.
Onward we go. Super chat from Trent M. $5 super chat in the last 13 seconds. Jokic had a full court assist, a defensive rebound, and 2 points to ice the game. Jokic is the best player in the world.
Man,
Everybody
you-
knows that.
Nights like tonight, man. That, by the way, that full court pass I'm telling you, I don't think there's a single other player. LeBron James, I don't know who it is. A single other player with the awareness of that. Because what happened was Bones had a bad turnover, a very young, turnover. And they get it to cut it to 1. And Yoke somehow, in real time, just reads the entire thing, gets the ball and throws it full court to get it back. Just to steal the play back, which turned out to be huge because it put you up 3. If you have to inbound the ball and then someone gets fouled, you got to hit 2 in the pressure cooker just to be up 3. Otherwise, you're really nervous that last play. So Yoke, somehow that play, it gets swept under the rug. But that was like an incredible awareness play.
There's a quote on that. We'll get to it soon enough. Couple more super chats. Jarrett. Friend of the chat, friend of the show, $5 super chat. If Caruso is the bald eagle, what birds of prey would Adam comp Bruce, KCP, and Christian Braun to? You're gonna have to think on that.
No, we'll just call him the golden eagle. He's got the golden hair.
I got to shout out
Is his hair brown?
Friend of the show, Swipa, who had this tweet tonight that said, Christian Braun is Alex Caruso with good hair.
He had this the other day. It was his line the other day. With good hair, I don't know. We'll see.
He does have hair.
With hair. With hair.
All right. Final super chat. $8. New game. Have a drink every time the guy says they tip their hat to Malone. Is that us?
Was that us?
Did we say that a lot?
Probably said it like 3 times.
Yesterday I was like, Malone,
4
what the
or
hell?
5.
Last game I was Malone, what the hell?
Last game we were throwing our hats at Malone.
Yeah.
This is an upgrade.
I tipped my cap to Malone. I tipped my cap to Malone. I tipped my cap. There you go. 3 more drinks.
Vote. Yeah, get hammered
Beetlejuice.
Friday night, but don't drive.
Nice.
Give us some quotes from the pressers tonight. What are we seeing on the timeline?
Looking at Queen of the Twitter, friend of the show's timeline here, Katie Wingy. Christian Braun almost did it again. Gets the defensive player of the game chain.
Nice.
He deserved it.
Yes.
He
Definitely.
also told the media that he gave the chain back right away because he was pretty sure he would lose it. I kind of like that.
What the hell? This guy needs confidence. Take it home. Take it to the strip
Wear that
club.
shit
Do
out of the
something.
arena.
He probably has rookie duties and stuff like that. He probably has a lot to do tonight.
Yeah, he
That's
probably
right,
does
yeah.
have a lot.
Wear that out of the arena.
Hot topic in Nuggets land. What do you call Contavious? Contavious? Pope? How about this for Michael Malone? Kenny Pope.
No, absolutely not.
All right, we're out.
I'm sorry.
We're out on Kenny Pope.
He has to have a nickname.
I
No
don't
one
tip
goes
my
around
cap to
being
Malone
called
for that.
Contavious.
That's such a New Yorker's version of Contavious Caldwell Pope.
Kenny
Pope.
I'm sure he probably went by that.
That's like Mike Miller calling Jokic Joker,
What do you think his nickname was growing up?
or
Nick.
everybody calling
probably
Votko
Kenny.
Chonchar Chucky.
But Malone was sitting on Kenny Pope for a couple weeks, probably. That
He's
was-
trying to do like
Katie had
Kenny
a
Hustle
post-game
thing,
interview
probably.
with Bruce Brown, and she said once she was done, he immediately sprinted over to Christian Braun doing a radio interview and hugged him so hard he picked him up off the ground. The vibes are immaculate. The Brown
the
Town
Brown
duo.
Town population too.
Katie said she asked Bruce Brown post-game what he's learned playing with Nikola Jokic, and he said, quote, always be ready. And I think that's the big takeaway. Christian
for
Braun
that, Bruce.
apparently also got the game ball tonight.
Wow,
DeAndre
Did he give
Jordan.
that back too.
DeAndre Jordan gave it to him.
Oh,
Which is nice, which I think is really nice.
I love that DeAndre Jordan just introduced a new tradition. The game
Yeah.
ball.
The
Malone's
game
like,
ball.
it's actually the defensive. He's like, no, the game ball too.
right.
You're like,
I
all
love
right.
that, man.
I love-
Just
I-
another thing DeAndre Jordan's adding to the Nuggets.
knows right.
I would love if it becomes controversial. Malone's like, I'm giving the defensive to Kenny Pope, and he's
All
like,
right,
well, I'm giving it to Bruce
the
Brown.
game ball to Bruce.
Got real controversies here.
On that,
Dividing the locker room.
on that full court press, we were just talking about. Jokic said he didn't hesitate at all. He smirked and said, "I did take a risk," but he added that he saw a lot of Warriors jerseys around and figured one of his guys had to be open. Listen, the thing with Jokic, so many times people go, "How did he see that?" And that's the best part. Half the time he didn't. He just figures you're probably there,
Yeah.
and he gets it right. Jokic also said he's fine after the collision with Draymond. Said it probably looked scary, but he didn't feel anything.
I love Yoke. I freaking love him.
Sprained finger, sprained wrist.
Yeah, just
His
whatever.
knees hurting him. He's like, I'm fine. I'm fine.
All right, should we do a little around the association here to wind things down, guys? There was a very, very busy night
Sure.
in the association. We'll try to fly through these since we're
Should we
almost
hand
at
out
an
some
hour.
game balls?
Almost, yeah, should we hand out some? I'm going to go, hey, Eric's still here?
I told you he was here.
Hey!
Bring over the Rakia.
Oh, man. That's all the way upstairs. We're too late. The Pelicans beat the Hornets tonight.
yeah, Eric.
124 to 112. The Pelicans are for real, but also the Hornets suck and they barely won. So I don't know what to make of this.
Here's the other thing. Brooklyn could also just be
They
bad.
might also suck.
Brooklyn could be bad.
Big
course
Val
they suck.
tonight, 30 points, 17 rebounds.
30
He
and
was-
17 is monstrous.
That's
He's
a
in the
big
conversation.
night for Big Val. Yeah,
Val win.
he could be in the
Val's in
conversation.
the
The 2-0
conversation.
Pelicans. That's a good point.
We need a list of wins guys in the conversation.
Guys, the game of the night. You're not going to believe it.
It wasn't the Nuggets-Warriors game?
The Spurs beat the Pacers tonight in the tankathon.
Despite their best tank job.
Early season tankathon. Listen to the defense tonight. 137 Spurs, 134 Indiana Pacers. Defense optional tonight. Jakob Poeltl had 21, 8, and 5.
Did you hear the fun fact about the Spurs? He called it a tankathon. Spurs had a nice lead into the fourth quarter. They gave up 40 points in the fourth quarter. Still won, though. They still won.
This game might come back to
This
hunt
was
them.
like, no. We're still
Wait,
taking
why
this
is
loss.
Popovich only playing 4 guys on the court?
Oh, man.
what?
You guys, the Chicago
Don't
Bulls
foul.
blew it.
Don't foul.
Dropped one to the Washington Wizards.
Wizards
Our
are 2-0.
Washington
The Wizards.
You did
Nuggets
get 9,
East.
4, and 3 from Monte Morris. And you also
Classic.
got Will Barton, who played 17 minutes and only took 6 shots tonight.
50%
6
from
points,
the field.
3 of 6, 6, 5,
Couple
1 and 1
rebounds.
for him. Amazing. There you go. 2-0 Washington Wizards. Also shouts to Wes Unseld. The Hawks get a win tonight. They get one 108-98 to the Orlando Magic. Paolo Banchero, 20 points, 12 rebounds. Pretty good. How did my guy Franz Wagner do? Ooh, off night for him. Not so great. Bull, 12 minutes tonight, 5 points, 3 rebounds. He's playing.
He's getting a shot.
He's in the rotation. Moving
That's
along.
amazing.
The Nets did pick up a win. You said they were bad? Well,
Yeah.
they beat Toronto tonight. So
I guess I can't. I guess the first 2 games of the season don't tell
Pascal
me.
Siakam tonight,
Everything I need to
37
know.
points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists.
Triple-double
Triple-double with 37
Ooh,
points.
that's a crazy
That's a
triple-double.
big triple-double. That's a
monstrous.
big
Gotta put him in the
triple-double.
conversation.
Yeah, put it. Wins on
Hell yeah,
fire.
500 likes. Thank you guys. You guys
500.
rule.
Love you guys.
Ben
Love you.
Ben Simmons tonight, 6 points on 3 of 5 shooting in 32 minutes. Did have 10 rebounds, 8 assists tonight.
Okay.
Isn't that weird? 32 minutes, 6 points.
not weird.
That you think that's weird for
It's not
Ben
weird.
Simmons?
I mean, he's going to a new level here. The Celtics get the win in Miami. Miami goes to 0-2.
My Celtics. I gotta tell you, that Tatum cat looks good.
29 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 2
He's gonna
blocks.
win.
Oh, he went
MVP
10 to
despite
22.
the-
10 to 22 is not that bad, not that good either.
10-22.
Yeah.
Sliding back in the right direction.
At least you got that going. for
Getting
you.
closer and
Getting
closer.
closer.
The Knicks beat the Pistons. Oh, I'll just have to check for Isaiah Hartenstein.
There wasn't enough cups, Queen?
Yeah, 21 points tonight. Or 20. Oh my God, 21 minutes was a plus 21. 6 points, 11 rebounds.
Shit.
0 assists tonight.
Hartenstein?
Yeah, but he was a plus 21 in 21 minutes.
God
somehow.
Jesus.
Wild. I mean, it was the Pistons though, guys. Come on.
Still has bad hands, though.
Still best. He also hunched the entire time. The Grizzlies got the win. Oh man, here's the line of the night. John Morant, 49 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists. He did not get the first 50-point game, though. It's always fun to see who gets the first 50-piece. John Morant, only 49.
Dev, we'll throw it
Wow,
to you.
he sucks. 49.
He had how many?
49.
49.
Sheesh.
That's superstar Dev.
God damn it.
The Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz 2-0, undefeated, number 1 in the power
see,
rankings.
this
Thank
is
you so
yeah.
much.
This is why I called Eric
We
Lita my
wanted
favorite employee at
this.
DNVR.
By the way, we
Oh.
should mention that we are drinking Iskrena, which means honesty. It means honesty, and this was given us to our guy Stefan Kakanovic, who drove 100 kilometers, that's like 60 miles, to deliver this to us, guys, while we were at Ambar Restaurant in Belgrade. So we saved it. He gave us each bottles. We all followed orders and saved it except for one person.
Yeah, I have mine.
Because
right
this
in
will
my
be our-
right in my liquor.
I
Hey.
shared it with my family.
liquor cabinet.
And they loved it.
Oh, he was there too.
Nothing for Kale.
All right, nothing for Cal. Givali.
Ghibli.
I still suck at drinking this.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you're supposed to sip
You're
it.
supposed to sip that one.
I
But
You guys
should've
are
said that.
rookies.
We don't have time for that.
We
though.
don't have time for that.
oh, I
rookies.
missed that.
Utah gets the win
I
tonight,
missed
guys. You know, they beat.
Dev
By the
sipping
way,
it.
they
I'm
beat the
proud of you,
Timberwolves.
Dev. Proud of you.
When there's a new coach,
I've learned.
You know, first of all, that team's good. Like, they have players. They're not like all scrubs. We thought they were going to tank. They tried. They even played their veterans, not all their young guys. When you get a new coach, you don't know, especially a new young coach. Is this going to be the next, just David Blatt? Like, oh, he's hyped, but like, come on, man, he's over his head. Or is it going to be the new Nick Nurse?
Yeah.
I look at what they're doing here, getting up 50 3-pointers tonight and making 20 of them, 20 of 50, 40% on 50 3-point attempts. I look at this and I go, this might be Nick Nurse.
Did you just call
Maybe.
Will Hardy Nick Nurse 2 games into the season?
I'm saying he might be. I'm
could
just
be.
saying.
You're not wrong so far.
I'm just
He's
saying.
got the potential.
When you have a
He's in
guy
the
that like
conversation.
comes in with a plan, and it's like, hey, we're going to try to modernize things. We're going to try to do this or that. And the proof is in the pudding. They got 100 threes in 2 games.
Right.
Yeah.
Off.
That's
I'm just
something.
saying something to keep your eye on. I don't like good coaches coming into the division.
What do you think of Mark Daignault?
He's a great coach.
Yeah.
He's a great coach.
Mark Daignault, Chris Finch.
And then
There are
the
good
game
coaches
of the
in there.
night for real, other than, of course, the Nuggets-Warriors, which was probably the real game of the night, but the other game of the night tonight, the Blazers moved to 2-0 as they beat the Phoenix Suns. And I have to go, and hold on, I have to take you live to the game. Kale, I sent you another clip here.
We're going
DeAndre
live?
Ayton goes to the foul line, clutch free throws, game-tying opportunity, and watch Damian Lillard walk up to him and just say, hey, have you ever been in this situation before? I bet you haven't. What is DeAndre?
Wait, he's really just
Is
saying
that direct
to him?
quote?
Yeah, well, it was. And DeAndre, by the way, misses the free throws.
Wow.
Misses the free throws.
Is that gamesmanship?
And this is what and somebody asked him in the post game, hey, what did you say? And I actually love this trash talk because it's like psychological. It's one thing to say you're a bum, whatever, like everybody's used to that. He just says, I just asked him, have you ever been in this situation before?
Wow.
I wanted him to think about it a little bit. And then when he ignored me, I felt like he was thinking about it.
That's
He was definitely
banger of a
thinking about it.
quote, man.
That's cool.
That's like they always say a psychology trick. Like if somebody's shooting and they're on fire, you kind of, or something you tell them like, "Hey man, your elbow's out." Even if it's not,
Put some more arc on
it just makes them think. Well, then I got to pull it in. Like psychologically, it starts to make you think. Well, is it out or in or whatever?
And then Chris Paul stepped in and responded, "Your shirt's untucked."
Yeah, he tried to. So.
I know that the PH and X people right now are sick.
Oh, they're
I'm talking
so sick
livid.
to them, so it makes you happy,
Oh
doesn't it?
man,
What a shame.
Not saying anything.
It's the reverse from the other day.
Yeah,
Oh,
it really
man.
is.
What a
Wow.
shame. Hey, did Chris Paul close that game this time?
I didn't have
Probably
that
did.
level of
And they
detail.
lost? Makes you think.
Let me look at the box
Makes you think.
score here and see what I saw. You know what's funny? DeAndre Ayton had 26 points tonight.
He's a good player.
Pretty good. Devin Booker went for 33. Is he the MVP? Is he in the conversation? And then Damian Lillard is back, guys. 41 points.
41.
I was kind of hoping he was just done.
Yeah, me too.
Nuggets are in Portland in next week, right?
Might be a Bruce Brown game. Might need a little something from Bruce Brown. All right, hit that outro
Going
music,
back
Kale.
to Browntown.
Did we get any other super chats that came in? I thought I saw
Did we
one
get to
come in. All right, let's
550?
hit it real quick.
No. 13
James
people. Come
Jimmy
on,
says,
likes.
when will Tyler Lydon get his minutes? Malone needs to give rookies a shot. So shaking my head. I love it. That's a Friday night at super chat right
That's
there.
a good note to end on.
This is a really
Why
good
not?
note. Why
Shout
not
out
call
Tyler
back?
Lydon.
Guys, the Nuggets got it. And here's the thing. We were all down so bad. Where's Eric at? We were joking about this. We were all down so bad about the Nuggets to the point where we weren't even like that hyped for the game tonight. We were like more nervous than we were hyped because we were like, God, I can't take the Nuggets going 0-2. I don't want them to get curb stomped as the Warriors like to do when a team's bad. But guess what? The Nuggets gave us life, baby. Let's go.
We're 1-0.
The Nuggets brought us back to
1-0, baby.
1-0. What a start to
Guess
the
how
season.
long we have to wait for the next game? Less than 24 hours.
Oh,
We're
man.
back here tomorrow
Who
for
wants
a
to come back
Saturday
to the
show.
bar?
Who wants to come back? We're going to be here. Everybody, we appreciate you. Big show tonight. We appreciate you guys getting your likes in, getting your super chats in. Have a safe Friday night. We'll see you guys tomorrow.